Hey, what's up, everybody? Figured I'd start doing some of these little Sharky sessions, videos, put some free content out for the general public, in addition to the teaching roles at the Rational Investor. So hopefully you guys get some value out of it. Kind of thinking the most important thing, we'll always start off with some personal development, some PMA, which I've been a huge fan of this guy here since I really got introduced to him like 2008 when I got hooked up. I had a Muay Thai fight in 2008, my first amateur fight, and I started taking some products from USANA Health Sciences, got involved with the business side of things after I had fantastic results on the product. But this guy, Jim Rohn here, if you don't know who Jim Rohn is, he's kind of like the OG of personal development. Actually, Tony Robbins had a grind to get into one of his events. He didn't, it's like he was 17 or 18 like that. It's a pretty interesting story. I'm sure you could find the video on the internet. But this quote here, if you've never heard of it, write this down, print it out, stick it to your desk or your computer. I always leave little post-it reminders just so I'm constantly feeding myself that. But yeah, definitely work harder yourself than anything else you do. Personal development's huge. No matter what you do, if it's trading, just being a good son, father, husband, etc., etc. Definitely a lot of value there. And I think this is actually one of those live videos that's actually out on YouTube. Shout out to the internet, doing amazing things. We could sit in on classes from like Harvard, MIT, and stuff like that now, which is pretty rad. So if you have a mobile phone and internet connection. But yeah, how to take charge of your life, Jim Rohn, personal development. I think this is actually like one of those ones that Jim Rohn, yeah, shares in one of his stories here. And if you don't know who, it's funny how I'll watch YouTube videos and see people's little recommendations. But shout out to AMC, man, the Titan. The guy smashes. I think this is 19 keys over here. Some cool stuff those guys are doing. Yeah, there you go. Let it roll. Wes Watson, he has a new video out. If you don't know who Wes Watson is, definitely, if you're looking for a mindset, ethical egoism, I think was the thing that he said that and blew my head up. I was like, whoa. So yeah, there's some good recommendations besides Jim Rohn here, but try to keep this short and sweet. I like to look at the kind of just calendar. I do watch, econs and news just to be mindful. Right now I'm writing some MetaTrader stuff with Casper from TRI. Shout out Casper. He's been helping me a lot with my C++ and programming, and we teamed up a little bit ago after he finished a school program. But anyway, trading economics, I like to check the impact. 3-star, I kind of weed out all the lesser items here just to kind of get an idea of what's going on this week. So we got, let's see, 25th, 26th, a couple things there. Yeah, so looks like Thursday is going to be interesting. Ooh, a new home sales. I'd be curious to see how it is. So some of the bigger picture cycles that we follow that I learned from Brian Beamish at the Rational Investor, the Binner cycle. This guy wrote this like in the late 1800s, so it's kind of esoteric, some generational stuff. How it's built, I'm not entirely sure, but definitely good to have in the back pocket. But anyway, he says 2023 is, if you're looking to buy some real estate, 2023 might be your time to buy those quote unquote corner lots. So anyway, this will be interesting. I'm sure all this stuff is priced in, etc. Inflation's up, growth's down with all the bullshit from the last couple of years that's been going on. It's not too surprising. One thing too, again, I learned from Mr. Delacour Beamish at TRI. A lot of the institutions writes the puts. So I don't necessarily use this in my trade setup process, but if you're a lower time frame trader looking for pivots and things like that, especially through like a Tuesday, Wednesday London kill zone, this is definitely, if you're a swing trader, definitely be mindful of where the smart money, the whales, institutions, etc., are, incentivized to keep the market either above or below, right? So it looks like definitely this 1700 and above area, and as you can see here, we're at what, 19. So yeah, they're definitely incentivized to keep it. Let's figure out what this low is here real quick, and I'll give you, that's funny, tick the lows there. So yeah, what's that, 1781. Funny enough, right? So 1781, it keeps all of that, keeps them happy. That's funny. Casper will like that with my dog getting involved every time I'm on a call with him. She does that. But In any case, carry on. So yeah, so that's Bitcoin CME futures. Me personally, I'm a fan of volume profile. We definitely have, man, that's a confirmed MACD divergence there. So again, this is a weekly chart. Um, for the day trading algorithm, I'll be down in the weeds on the 5, 3 minute, 1 minute, things like that. But for my bigger positions, position trading, I just stick to the weekly. I got other stuff going on. I do senior system engineer full time. Training Muay Thai. Shout out to Zeus Muay Thai over at Dan Henderson's gym. Isaiah and Zach, lots of love. Also shout out to Tarek. Um, yeah, a lot of good people over there. And yeah, if you've ever in the area, want to go train MMA, learn from some of the best, check out Dan Henderson's gym there in Temecula, California. Been there since 2008? Yeah, since I came out here from Huntington Beach. The guy was at Gaze Academy. He's like, yep, go see Dan. So I've been there since. Great group of people over there. But let's keep it to the charts. Let's see here. So cost of production, if Bitcoin is a quote unquote commodity, proof of work, all that stuff. Greta hates it, death to the world in her opinion, but whatever. If you don't know about the younger dryas boundary, check out Randall Carlson, The Great Year and Younger Dryas Boundary. So if you're a climate change, aficionado, check that out and just understand some of the bigger picture cycles and put things in context and all that. And yeah, growing up a surfer and all that. I think you can see the photo of Wedge, a friend of mine shot for me. So I'm definitely all for keeping the oceans clean and all that good stuff. But some of the stuff that people are talking about from a WAF standpoint, they might have a different agenda. So just be mindful of that. But anyway, sorry to go on that little side tangent rant out the side of my neck. But cost of production, this is one of the bigger picture kind of targets I've had for quite some time here. I've got a 400 weekly moving average, definitely. This 13,880, so say 14 grand, just call it good there. That's me personally where I'm looking for this. Now, maybe we hold it here, not sure, but these are areas of quote unquote value. Definitely don't want to be a buyer down here, and for me personally, I'm not going to be a seller down here. I like to, build an inventory towards bottom ends of ranges and let it go as the market, allows. And again, takes time, patience, and discipline, but this is kind of how I approach kind of position trading. So that's just kind of my perspective on what I'm seeing there with that. Just keep that in the back of the mind. Yeah, pretty much the same information, same chart, just using Coinbase for the spot market here versus the futures. Again, not a whole heck of a lot's changed, but I mean, you can see the levels that I'm interested in. I have 4,200, so just say 4,300 is definitely a level that would just freak everybody out. Michael Saylor and Elon Musk, all those people would just be, everybody would just take a giant shit on their head if that ever happened. But yeah, if it happens, I will definitely be building an inventory for sure. One thing I do like to look at is volatility. As traders, we trade volatility, and this is essentially John Bollinger. A lot of these are taken from. We even got some Bollinger Bands on RSI. One of the TRI site members, CTO actually, Sjorn, he likes to trade this model. I'm a fan of it as well. Works well. I like to actually combine it with some RSI Ws and kind of layer that approaches. Looks like here this thing's potentially going to M out, pull back. We'll see how that goes. But got some Kavarki bands. That's actually historical volatility. One of the site members, Kevin, he's actually the one that jokingly gave me the name Shark Tokshi Nakamagawan, so still makes me laugh. So I'm running with it. This is a script indicator that I put together on TradingView for him in PineScript. And it's definitely given us a heads up that, hey, historical volatility is low. Pay attention. We got RSI, or not RSI, Bollinger Bands on MACD that's been green for a hot minute. So this doesn't necessarily tell us the direction, but we're closer to the bottom than we are at the top. Trade your setups and all that fun stuff. And if you don't have a trade plan, you don't know what a trade plan is, you don't know what setups are, check out The Rational Investor. I knew absolutely nothing, completely green to all this back in 2017. Was on a little random YouTube autoplay, extravaganza, and found Brian Beamish's. It was a Coinigy Fibonacci retracements tutorial. I think it was maybe from 2015 or something. and everything he said actually made sense. And I was like, huh, who's this guy? It sounded very interesting, and the rest is history, I suppose. I'm actually was a TA for their level 2 program, still the level 1 TA, and actually working to transition to the level 2 instructor role with one of the guys out of, well, the guy now, Karan, in Ireland. He's going to move on, and then me and Murat in Germany are going to kind of co-teach that and co-TA, so that's going to be cool in the coming term. So again, if you don't know what a trade plan is, don't know any of that, completely green, 10 out of 10 would recommend. So definitely go check that out. But again, you know, something's in the hopper here. So again, be mindful. Don't be a hero. Don't be betting your rent money, any of that kind of stuff. Don't do anything stupid that your wife's going to smack you for. Again, be mindful of that. I will give, so here's a little quant piece of information here. Hash ribbons has been flashing and by here through this little head and shoulders. Again, we don't want to go off any one signal. We want to take multiple reasons for a trade to, you know, enhance our edge, statistical probabilities, all that fun stuff. But for the lower time frame peeps, I will throw this up, give you some levels, some support and resistance. Again, that's where supply and demand dynamic shifts and all that fun stuff. So yeah, so we got our definitely the range. There's not a lot of volatility in here, as that previous chart suggests. We got, this is actually a linear regression curve I like to follow. Again, it's built into this script that I wrote for the people at TRI. So yeah, so the top end of the range here at about 20 grand or so, bottom about 18 or so. So range ping pong, range traders, you know, looks like they're having, well, not a whole heck of a lot, but not a ton of volatility, but lots of wicks, tails. So doesn't look like easy mode, but if you know what you're doing, money to be made. Definitely break out, you know, above that, break down below that. You know, we got another thing of support here, so that's going to be 17.6. So some levels for the lower time frame. You know, again, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 below. Those are kind of, if it were me, that's what I'd be looking at. Yeah, last thing I'll just mention here is some bigger picture phase analysis. It's a moving average study that I personally like to follow. Again, it's just all moving averages, but we've got an uptick here, so nothing to do for me here yet. Definitely still showing downtrend, but if I get, you know, some market structure on the other side of this trend line, it's something I like to follow. Definitely have location indicator we saw previously with that MACD confirmed div, so that's, you know, again, not necessarily today. Again, I trade these weekly, so they're longer. So it just weeds out a lot of noise and lets me focus on other stuff I have going on. But yeah, wanted to keep this short and sweet. Again, personal development. If you don't do any personal development now, again, for me, that was one of the things that, the best things I ever started investing time in, again, as myself. There's so many different rabbit holes. And the cool thing is a lot of people have already figured out a lot of this. They can give you their cliff notes. Just do some, you know, YouTube searches out there. There's a lot of cool people that are into mindset and all that. So Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, you know, Gary Vee. If you don't know Akira the Dawn, I actually found out about Wes Watson, who's, man, his mindset is impeccable. Had to be with what he went through. So, you know, shout out to coming through the other end of that fire. The refiner's fire, as they say, right? But yeah, Akira the Dawn, he's got amazing albums that are all put to, you know, some music that he produces himself. The guy I think was on Interscope back in the day, but now just makes, you know, yeah, here's one of my favorite here. Let's see, hopefully YouTube doesn't shit on my head for playing this, but yeah, let's pause that. Anyway, Cure the Dawn, Marcus Aurelius Meditations, check that out. And yeah, hope you have a fantastic week, and try to do these once a week or so, see how it goes. And yeah, all the best, you guys. Take care. Bye.